Hey guys, Privatitude here. I'm bringing you some more Raidcall coverage with another review. This time, it's a match between Empire and Fnatic. Now, Empire's been dominating the tournament so far, sitting at a 4-0 lead. Fnatic with an even score of 3-3. So, let's see how these guys did against the Russian powerhouse. Klinks took up the top lane, just to butt heads with Darkseer. Trixie used Searing Arrows too many times and didn't allow enough mana for a safety net known as Windwalk. Both players were aggressive and harassed each other non-stop, but in the end, SS overtook Trixie, despite his attempts to throw him off his trail. On bot, we had some tri-lane vs tri-lane action, but we can clearly see that Fnatic's try was much more aggressive, considering their heroes had more powerful skills in a laning situation. Finally, we move over to the mid lane, where Magnetar and Windrunner were duking it out. Scandal was keeping himself in lane with a bottle, so JK knew what was up when he went missing. There wasn't even a rune for Scandal, but had there been, it might have saved him this embarrassing death to a Windrunner. I always cringe when I see a Coddle picked up, just because I feel like he has a weak laning presence. However, I tip my hat to Go Black, because he aimed some really decent Illuminates. It's not very often that you're able to land 2-in-1 engagement, but he did it, and there's no doubt that he turned the tides in favor of his team on this one. Empire was forced to back up, but thanks to the Illuminates, Era had low enough HP to make Blow just turn around and toss a bolt in his face. Oh, and make that 3 Illuminates. With their tank turned to dust, No-Tail and Fly had to run like hell. Unfortunately, Fly didn't make it that far. Blow and Fun got caught out of position, and there were a lot of Fnatic heroes converging to the location of this battle. But once again, Coddle was throwing out those Illuminates left and right, continuing to drop the HP of his enemies. Even though Fnatic managed to pick off Chaos Knight, this battle was looking ugly for them. Scandal had rallied to the smell of his allies' blood, and was out to avenge CK's death. With a powerful reverse polarity, he cleaned up the 2 offending heroes, and gave chase to the 3rd. This should have been a nice, clean, and easy pickoff, but in the end, the 2-second stun really screwed things up for Empire. I like this clip because I think it's funny how Windrunner casually runs to the tree line, then just turns around and fights like she isn't at 200 HP. Empire took a nice lead in terms of gold, kills, and XP early on, but I've cast games with more of a lead, so I know that this is something that Fnatic could come back from, even if it is a bit unlikely. Disruptor is a good counter against Wisp, but not when they just run up to you and are all up in your face killing you before you can even glimpse. Fun and Blow didn't even really need to relocate very much. Most of the time Tether was enough to run them in, and Chaos Bolt kept their enemies still long enough to finish the deed. Fnatic had to do something to stay in this game. It doesn't look like much, just being 11-5, but Empire really did have a huge advantage. Fnatic had all 5 heroes here, versus Empire's 3, but still they couldn't make anything happen. I do feel like there had to have been some sort of miscommunication, since half the team backed up. It was probably the right call though, since it was unlikely that they could have picked off anyone. But the chance was long gone regardless, and Magnetar had wreaked havoc on Fnatic. Really though, they couldn't get a footing back in this game. Empire dominated every team fight that came up, despite playing most of the game without their Darkseer, who was getting towers for them up top. It's clear to see why Empire is undefeated in this league, and considering how good they're doing, an 18-5 score is not that terrible on Fnatic's side of things. If I have time before the next matches come out, I'll review the rest of the set. I haven't gotten to see a whole lot of Fnatic, so I'd like to get a better grasp of their skill. And as always, Empire is great to watch. I'm Privatitude, and wait, crap, I didn't find a Thunder Blunder. Well, the Thunder Blunder this week is that I didn't find a Thunder Blunder. Yeah. If you like my videos, then please remember to subscribe, comment, like, and tell your gamer friends about me. If you want to catch me live, I do shoutcasting for GoForDota.com, so be sure to follow our own .tv channel. While you're at it, check out the free open tournaments hosted by Go4Dota. And lastly, where do you think you're going? Click on one of my other reviews to catch some more Dota action.